Hey, what's up? It's your boy D5, and I'm just doing a video about the race war narrative that they're pushing, and just want to have a hand in trying to, what I'm saying, slow it down and or stop it, because it's not making any sense and it won't amount to anything as far as being a citizen or just a plain old American. So it will not benefit us at all. It will just hurt us. So let's get into the video. First off, I would like to say how we were raised to treat each other from day one, and when we was in school. This is the type of images that were given to us as children. So therefore, when we grew up and it was already in play for the single mothers to be out here by themselves, when we grew up, all we knew how to do was beat one another to make someone understand. Our mothers did it to us. Some of our fathers did it to us. A lot of them didn't, because they understood what this does mentally to a child when you beat them to make them do something. And this is what was embedded in us from day one. And if some people would understand this and how we were programmed, then they will understand where our anger spawns from. So if you were a kid and seeing these images as a kid, you gotta understand, when we see an opposite color, that it's automatically a defense mode in play. It's not that it's automatic now. It's being taught. In this part of the video, this guy explains how I exactly felt through my whole life after being exposed to movies like Glory and all that. I mean, racist, type of things like these images. I've never felt like I'm gonna, amount to anything, because, a lot of the cops that seen me as a kid, they told me I would never be anything. I resembled Scarface. Now, mind you, this is in 2nd and 3rd grade. I'm just a kid. They were doing the DARE program and, showing drugs to babies. You know what I'm saying? So and then you turn around and watch TV, and then it's glorified if you sold drugs. So that's kind of how they programmed us, and all we know is, fight or flight. It's no in between. There's no teaching us how to get along. It was always a teach of one against the other. And mind you, these type of images they also give to people before they come to this country as a citizen. So they always have a negative image of us as people before they even come to our country. So they already think that we're everybody's like one thing that they show on the TV, which is a negative image. So therefore they're already ready to defend themselves against us, and we are too, which makes war. And that's not what it's about. It's not what it's about, man.
Really picturing himself. Ask a secure child to draw a tree, and he's likely to draw a bountiful, spreading tree. A black child drew this tree, cut off in its growth, stark, bare, ungratified. It works the same way with drawings of people. Normal children, average drawings. The mood is happy, the child feels capable, the drawings are complete, and the arms are developed to emphasize strength. These children were old enough to draw complete figures. The significant fact is what they left out: arms, hands. A child may sense that a situation in life is so powerless that he himself is equivalent to an armless man. My own study reveals that armless people appear 3 times more frequently in the drawings by black children than those by white. The faceless being suggests that these youngsters not only feel themselves to be less than they might be, they don't even feel themselves to be. The black child who is forced to live in a hostile world may disappear in self-defense. He drifts through life feeling like a shadow. He stops caring and he stops trying. A child who has this on his mind cannot be a child. A child who has this on his mind could want to burn down cities when he gets older.
This is how we are actually treating each other. We sell out our own kind to walk hand in hand with the ones against us. The industry does it, and that's the reason they get kids and make kids famous, because kids can't think for themselves. Just like in the beginning of the video, I was explaining about being programmed. Kids are easily programmed, so kids are gonna follow kids, meaning blind lead the blind, and sell out your own brother just to make it. But in retrospect, this is the image that it really is. This is how it really looks. But y'all don't feel me, man. We gotta stop it. We gotta stop it. Now with all that programming, this is the outcome on how we treat each other. We have to treat each other better before anyone else can treat us better. Look at this. Take this in. Because this is how we discipline ourselves, and this is how we were programmed to discipline each other. Beating and whipping, but then you ask why the white people don't beat their children or whoop their children. Because this thing is a mental damaging trend. This is not good, man, and we've been taught the worst, and we have to be deprogrammed before anybody else can respect us. We have to respect each other. This is not a good look for us. And then we have a trend going on with this type of programming that we're taught to hate each other from the get-go. Like I said in the beginning of the video, the programming leads us to want to take from one another and want to kill each other just to have a name for themselves in the streets. I'm gonna say it again. Just to have a name in the streets, we gotta either take from each other or kill one another to have a name in the streets. But we can kill each other, but nobody else can. How does that sound? How can we come together if it's some type of invisible jealousy for the next man? It goes back to the programming. And this is where the anger comes from. The anger spawns from. Anybody that wants to know where the black anger spawns from, is from the programming in the beginning. Because we're led down a road that we don't understand. And this is the only thing we embrace. Then we glorify going to jail. Jail is a modern day slave camp. This is what slavery was. And on top of that, we look at it as if it's fun and it makes you a man. No, it tears you down as a man, mentally and physically, no matter how strong you are. Through this same type of programming, they're teaching the young women to have a lot of kids, and if the dad's not there, you can use the government. But where's the morality in that? And young ladies, just because somebody don't protect themselves while having sex, you should. And if that person is not willing to, go by your means as far as having sex with you, you shouldn't do it. And that would stop a lot. So now that all these things were put into play as far as the programming, now we have this race war thing jumping off. The thing about this is we have two sides of people that were programmed to hate each other from day one. The thing about this is it'll never be a point to where we can agree to disagree or agree on things when you always put this narrative into play that one person was before another. There was no way that you made me or I made you. We were here. Your boat theories, your Africa theories, all of that is a false narrative for the simple fact a lot of our history was erased. A lot of our Black American history, Aborigine, whatever we posed to be, was erased. And when y'all understand that's where the anger comes from, then you wouldn't question why we always have a defense up or always have something to say about something. Even though a lot of us do it in the wrong manner, we have something to say. I'm going to wrap this video up. I just want y'all to let this sink in and understand we have to get over the bullshit. Oh yeah, and P.S. the thing about Donald Trump and Obama, they both deceived the people that voted for him. Obama deceived the black people. Trump deceived the white people and the white races. You're always trying to point out things that he says and what he's done, but the guy has addressed as much as he can, and he's addressed more than previous presidents on public events. A lot of people got killed by the hands of laws in the last year of Obama in office. Not once did he address these things in the nature that you're asking Donald Trump to address the things that's happening now. And this is done for a reason, to keep up the hostility. He says he wants to give power back to the people. If you don't understand that, let me explain it to you. He wants to give power back to the people because he's only doing what he's told to be done. He doesn't have any power. And if we would get along and take control of what we supposed to do and do our things as a unit, black, white, Mexican, Asian, Latino, Mexican, German, whatever it is you over here and your nationality, if we can't do it together, then he will be forced to put it in the hands of the government. I don't know if this makes sense to you, but I'll explain it one more time before I end the video. He's trying to give power back to the people because he can only do what he's told in office. And what he's told in office is the only thing that he can sign off on. There's nothing that Donald Trump did since he's been in office that's changed anything on the streets besides you motherfuckers worrying about some free healthcare shit, when we all need the jobs that he's explaining, that he's trying to put it back over here so we can get this money right. With that being said, man, stop believing the hype. Let's try to come together. We don't have to be one, but let's learn how to disagree like grown people. If we disagree, we disagree, but we can still work together. With that, hit the subscription button, like, leave a comment, do what you do. But man, listen, this is serious. We can't be out here starting a war amongst us on our soil, because if we start a war amongst us on our soil, just like America goes to other people's places when they can't get their shit together, just think what they'll do to us. I'm out.